Hey everyone, welcome to Brightest Chickenstein. I'm Owen, and I'm not set up for this, but I have 4 guests. Jake's not even on mic, he's off to the side.
I'm over here.
You got Jay.
Hello.
You got Seth.
Hello there.
And we just wasted our lives, made a music video.
Absolutely.
Well, except we didn't waste our lives. It's probably the best thing we could do on a miserable, rainy Saturday.
I don't know,
Saturday.
what's the weather like down where you guys are from? Is it rainy today there too?
Yeah, it's been nasty weather in Connecticut, so I'm not that far away.
Yeah, Massachusetts is the same thing. It's been fairly rainy the whole week, so not too much temperature difference. It's a few degrees colder here than it is for us, but that's the rain is still the same either way.
At least it's not snow.
Well, it's supposed to snow tonight, so you'll get that on the way back. So, are you guys insane?
Well, yeah, I meant what I said before. I mean, look, it's a rainy Saturday. What else is there to do but come up here and, I don't know if you specified before, but we made not just a music video, but a music video about Bigfoot, which is even better. And personally speaking, a music video about Bigfoot from one of my songs. So, of course, I think it was very worthwhile and can't wait to see how you end up editing it, what it looks like.
I want you to define the word insane. What do you mean by insane? Are we crazy people for
You
having the
drove-
idea of coming all the way here
Yes.
to shoot a Bigfoot video?
Yeah, you drove 4 hours to put on a Halloween Bigfoot suit.
Yes, I did. And I volunteered. In fact, I forced my way into this music.
Yes.
I wasn't even invited to come here. I
Yes.
forced my way into it. No, I don't think that makes either one of us or any of the 4 of us insane. I think what it is, Seth and I were talking about this on the ride up, which was commitment. Lots of people have great ideas, and I'm sure you've done it just as many times as we've done it and say, oh, it would be really cool if... But no one ever follows through, and I can only speak for myself, but I hate when people don't follow through. So for me, when I see a group of people that I know that say, oh, let's make a music video, and one person says, no, let's actually do this, I say, yeah, I want to do it too. Let's follow through. Let's actually do this.
And even if it is goofy, and even if it doesn't get the millions of YouTube watches it so richly deserves, just completing something, I mean, that's worthwhile. Just having fun and getting something out there, and it's done, and it may not be revolutionary, but it's something we made, so that makes it worthwhile.
Yeah, I could fill a computer hard drive with ideas that I've never done.
Right. So it's all about follow through. I mean, nothing's more infuriating than having a great idea and knowing, oh, this could be really cool, and then not following through, and then thinking back later on saying, oh man, I should have done that. Let's just do it. Let's follow through. Does that make us crazy people? I guess so.
I think it was more of the driving.
Yeah, hey, it's just driving. It's a couple hours in a car. No big deal.
Do you guys take long distance drives elsewhere often? Or?
I drive for a living, so it's not a big deal for me anyway. Yeah.
I used to, not anymore, you can't tell looking at me now, but I used to be big in the bearding community. I don't know if you know about that, but it's beard competitions. They're all over the country.
So now you're like under the radar with your little beard. Like they'll never find me now.
I was pretty big in it for a while, and I made videos of competitions. And so I would travel all around. I would travel to Virginia. I traveled to Seattle. I traveled to California. I mean, a lot of places I otherwise wouldn't have been. But in response to what you asked, the travel part of it actually is not insane. The travel part is half of the fun. I mean, half the fun is being here and making the video, and that's great. And half of the fun is getting to new places and meeting new people. I've never even spoken to Jake before, and makes the experience well worth the drive.
Owen just doesn't like it because I'm always too afraid of my car to drive anywhere. So why aren't we going on far trips, Jake?
Well, there are other events that I know. We kept urging Owen to go to that where we could meet up, and he's like, no, not going to drive out of Vermont. It's too scary in the suburbs of Boston. So.
Oh, once you hit that Massachusetts line, man, the interstate changes. I mean, you must know just coming up here where it's like you hit Ghost Town Interstate pretty much.
Yeah, there's no drivers here. I was skeptical that there was going to be people here when we got here. So yeah, there are a lot more people on the roads in Massachusetts and Connecticut both. But there's no different driving here than there is in Massachusetts. There's just more people.
Except Boston. They are crazy in Boston itself.
Yeah. And there's a lot of one-way roads, and it's difficult to navigate.
But if you said of Boston, it's
it's fine.
I've been to the suburbs of Mass once, and people were insane, so I don't know what you're talking about. I went to a trip. We went to Maine, watched a wrestling show. Went in New Hampshire, stayed the night at one of his friend's house, and then we went into Mass. And people would pass us as soon as their light turned red. They'd blow by us, cut us off just to get to the next light. That's what was happening in Massachusetts. And I was like, no, no, thank you. And I wasn't even driving.
Right. So we'll just wear a blindfold next time you come down. No big deal. There's a solution to every problem.
Well, if you guys come up, pick us up, bring us all the way back.
Yeah,
we're game.
That seems logical. Drive 4.5 hours to pick you up, to drive back 4.5 hours, and then bring you back up, and then drive back home also.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the driving, but there comes a point where
That's not crazy.
no, I mean, for example, we're talking about the motion media extravaganza, which we tried to get you to, and that's a pretty distant suburb. I mean, it's not Boston; it's fine to get there. It's no more crazy than around here, really.
I listened to enough of his podcasts where I figured out where the event is by just listening to Matt talk. So I know where it is.
He says it's a secret location, but he hosts all of his events in the same location, so it's pretty easy to figure out exactly where it is.
But he was talking about some nice old lady and these old buildings and did a little triangulation. I'm like, this is it. And he's like, yeah.
Charlie's the bouncer, so you're going to have to push past him if you don't have an official ticket.
That's true. But also, if you just showed up, he'd let you in anyway. It's just having people there would be good enough for him.
So how was the Bigfoot suit, Jay?
The Bigfoot suit, you made it seem like it was going to be the worst thing that a human being could experience. It wasn't that bad.
It's the mask that I really wonder about. Did it smell in there?
It did not smell. We did a scene where I was eating popcorn, and I could smell, once I started cramming the popcorn into the mask, I could only smell popcorn. But also breathing in it, there was quite a bit of condensation in the mask itself from breathing in it for so long. Other than that, it really wasn't that bad.
Luckily, it was a brand new one, or you would have been breathing, 4 or 5-year-old Jake sweat.
Well, you wore it too, didn't you, at some point? Or
I wore it to test it, but I think you wore it for the whole other music video.
I just remember there's a photo of you in the suit without the mask on. I just can't place when that's from.
That was before we shot.
That was just goofing around. Just a couple of guys palling around.
That's right. Just hanging out in the woods.
Wearing Bigfoot suits as you do.
It's a Vermont tradition.
I almost got a different Bigfoot suit, but I hesitated so long that it sold out before Halloween, and they never got it back in.
Do you regret not buying it now?
Yes.
What was different about that
I
suit?
liked the mask better.
Okay.
Was it not so angry?
No, it had kind of a smile.
That's the problem with this Bigfoot suit for this video. It's such an angry Bigfoot.
Yeah.
We needed something ideally more friendly.
And I think it had at least a chin beard.
Okay.
So it would come down on
So when you look up, you don't see my neck.
there. See, I didn't even think about that because Jake's pretty hairy, so
I've got a neck cover already.
His hair came out. His hair was probably even longer than it is now, so it was coming out and it was covering.
I've never had my hair this long.
Well, maybe just in the thing, it was squished down and coming out the bottom. So, but I was, again, my laziness was, I was like, I'm gonna buy a new suit. I'm gonna cut the old suit. I'm gonna add on to it, make the legs longer, which I guess it wasn't too bad. But
yeah,
usually when we filmed last time, you could see a couple inches of sock.
Yeah.
But
I intentionally brought brown socks after watching the Bigfoot Stole My Mail thing and seeing Jake's red socks and you pointing it out that he was wearing red socks. So I intentionally brought brown, knowing, all right, maybe my socks will show. What I hadn't considered was my neck.
Yeah. And that was another thing I was going to do. I was going to cut a higher part of the thigh off the other suit, and it'd be neck warmer. Put it on, it'd be extra hot, but it would have covered up all the skin.
Right.
I suspect people wouldn't have been thinking it was a real Bigfoot even if you had done that, so it's probably not that big a deal.
You know, get some makeup, put it on your eyes.
I get you. But what are we going for in this video? Are we going for a super realistic looking Bigfoot or clearly a guy in a Bigfoot Halloween costume?
Whichever one works.
Right.
I mean, if I had the money, I would have had a custom Bigfoot suit made, of course.
If you got the money, you go out and actually capture a real Bigfoot, bring it down.
Well, they don't exist.
Someone was suggesting, was it Jake? Someone was suggesting at the start of the day that it's not really a song about Owen making friends with a Bigfoot, which is what it seems to be about, but it's a song about Owen. Somebody needs to dress up as Bigfoot in order for Owen to be friends with them.
Yes,
so really the fakeness of the costume fades right into that second layer.
Any regular person, you would have just shut the door on. But Bigfoot, who's a film fan, there you go. Owen's ideal friend.
Yeah.
Not really, because I shit on all the Bigfoot movies I see, pretty much.
Except for the one that I don't like. That
Yeah.
one you're.
What's up with that? Bigfoot, the movie, is fantastic. It's an indie movie. It's hilarious about some rednecks whose friend gets killed by Bigfoot, and they hunt him down while drinking beer and smoking.
If you want a goofy comedy about Bigfoot, which Bigfoot's movie tries to be, I still think Attack of the Sasquatch. That was much better.
Terrible. Terrible. Seen it once, never see it again. It's terrible. And that has a cool dude from YouTube in it. Nobody knows who that is.
No.
That's when he was really big. He was the big guy.
So
I mean, you watched it.
yeah, I didn't know somebody famous, or
Famous.
semi YouTube
Internet
famous was
famous.
internet famous was in it.
He's in anything that'll let him be in it, pretty much. He was in Ghost Shark.
Can't say I saw that.
No, me neither.
The shark dies, becomes a ghost, and it can come out of any form of water. You get a cup of water, it comes out and eats you. It's terrible, but
A ghost eats people? How's that work?
I don't know. I didn't make it.
Magic.
Danny Trejo was in it, I think, or maybe he was in a different one.
He was in a different Ghost Shark
He's
movie.
in Ghost Shark too.
No, I
Oh, he's
just,
in Shark Ghost, different movie.
just a different one with a cool dude. That might have been about people dying in high school. Sci-fi movies.
Must be fun to get famous on YouTube and then meet Danny Trejo. I mean, that's a cool chain of events.
It's not that hard. We probably could have got him in this. Offer a couple bucks.
Hey, Owen, that's Bigfoot. Yeah, thanks, Danny. Goodbye. Leaves.
He doesn't turn down anything.
A special cameo at the end. He could come in with his machete and started chasing Jay around.
But then he doesn't kill him. He just gives him a nice shave.
There you go.
Looks good.
So after today's experience, I know you've been talking about doing a video for other Bigfoot songs. Are you geared up now to continue the music video making?
Problem is winter sitting, and I don't do anything. So maybe next year.
So when the weather is nicer, can we expect the sequel to Bigfoot Stole My Mail? I know you've been talking about it.
I haven't written it. I think I wrote
So
my
you have the whole
page.
winter to write it.
It's true.
We know that you started your new video game, and that's
then
been occupying a lot of your time.
John
However,
said he'd help me write it, and I sent him what I had. Ghosted me.
right. Well, anyone that didn't show up today is probably a huge piece of crap anyway, so you can't rely on people that have good ideas and don't follow through on them. However, there are 3 people sitting in front of you right now that did show up today to do something, so if you write it, will you make it?
I mean, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
But I would
We want a verbal commitment.
I would come up again to Vermont. I actually like it up here. I'm having a good time in Montpelier.
Right. So you see that people are willing to donate their time and
So you're
I'm
saying
going to say the words talents, although I don't know about we're
So
very
wait.
talented.
Are we
you're
talking
saying if I wrote a script, you would come up and play a cop.
I would come up and play 2 cops if you wanted me to.
I already have the aviators.
Okay.
What's my role then?
You don't have one.
Yeah.
Now I'm hurt.
Well, do
You have to wear the
so-
suit this time.
Oh, yeah.
Unless, John may ghost me and you can have his part.
Was he the park ranger?
He was the park ranger.
Maybe make John be the Bigfoot.
If he shows up.
And now Jay, he's going to be Bigfoot and the cop.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to double down.
Cop never meets Bigfoot, so
Not until you get a green screen.
I have it all up here.
Well, you need to,
I know
you need to
some.
get it. You need to get it all written down on a piece of paper or typed up on a computer.
I mean, I still know the rough timeline of it. Have you shared any of the details at all?
Yes. I talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it's got.
Yeah, this is a Bigfoot Stole My Life, right?
Yes. Sequel to Bigfoot Stole From My Man.
So the idea would be that Bigfoot would dress up as
Me.
people, or
As
so
me.
you, and then everyone just assumes that it's you because the Bigfoot's wearing your clothes.
Yes.
And it's hairy. So.
Right.
So that wouldn't be too bad because you just wear a hoodie and some dickies.
So you're saying you're not going to put the suit underneath the... That's probably...
I mean, I would probably play Bigfoot a couple times because there's a lot of stuff we can film without you guys being up here, like all the stuff at your house where I come and you're like, you're already here. And then it'd be me inside just in the Bigfoot stuff. And it'd literally just be hands and the mask.
Yeah. I mean, the trouble with that is that you then have to have a cam person that runs in, sits down, and...
You just start and run in.
So look, I'm committing that if you do this and it's a nicer day than this, I'll come back up to Vermont and we can all make this.
I think you'd make a good park ranger. I'm just saying. I as soon as you said it, I looked over. I'm like, oh yeah, character 1,
I
character
mean,
2.
I already promised John So, and he's the one that's been pushing for it. So
Well, you haven't written it yet, though. You can write another character, but there can only be 2 characters in the movie.
I mean, we already have too many.
Already writing people in we don't want, so.
It's just like, oh no, we wrote things for other people. That means we have to get other people. And it's just like, can we just do us again and film it whenever we have time?
Well, no, we never will. I mean, you need people to come up on a 4-hour drive so that you can't be like, maybe tomorrow. You can drive back home, come back tomorrow.
I mean, you could be cameraman.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Could always use extra hands around behind cameras.
True.
Would you write another original song to go in the movie?
Absolutely, but I
Matt?
mean, you're a musician. Everyone around here is a musician, so I'm sure there's plenty of songs. John's a musician. I'm sure there's plenty of
John
songs.
has
to go
already
around.
promised an end credit song.
Okay, well then I'll do the opening credits.
Oh, you already have the opening credits song.
Yeah, my
I'll do the mid. I'll do the montage in the
mid-credits.
middle where you're stalking Bigfoot as he's taking over your life, and there needs to be a song about stalking the Bigfoot. I can do that one.
Just run credits in the middle of the movie.
And then I think I talked Matt into making, at least being a part of the movie, which he can just film on his own.
Would you just like show up on a video camera feed or something?
No, it'd be like I see a poster. It's like crypto problems. Call me. It's a picture of Matt
Ow.
and his real phone number.
You were
He
gonna
puts
have-
it out everywhere, anyways.
You don't want to have him as like a news reporter? That'd be a great scene. Get him in a suit and tie. And
You need to get the production value of next year. I know you didn't make it this year, but the annual Bigfoot conference at the Cryptozoology Museum in Maine should film next year at the conference. You know, get all the real cryptozoologists there, get all the production value.
I'm sure they'd love it. We're making a dumb movie about how Bigfoot steals my life.
You have to be able to laugh at yourself.
Yeah, I have most of it in my brain. I'm not. The big thing is dialogue. I have to write dialogue.
So,
It's knowing now.
equally important, Jake. You have your internet sensation of the Talented video, which is great, and I've watched it many times, and I know lots of us have. So, when are you going to start writing songs again? I know it's been a 5-year gap since your last one.
oh yeah, hard to say.
His thing now is he sings in his phone in his car and he puts out as an album.
Yes. So, which that was 3 years ago too at this point, or 2 years. But it's just a collection of voice memo songs. The first album had like 110 of them, but they're all about like 30 seconds to 2 minutes maybe.
That's still valid. I mean, as Jay was saying before, the important thing is to do it, and you did it, and got it out there. So,
Oh, yeah, well,
time to do it again.
I've got another one that's just about compiled. That one's 114, so it's going to be before the end of the year I actually get it up on Bandcamp. So it'll be out there. But other than that, I just don't have a great setup or program right now to just hop in and actually compose things digitally.
The thing about Bandcamp, and you probably found the same thing, but I have a couple albums up on Bandcamp, and every time, and by every time I mean the 3 or 4 times at this point, somebody has actually bought one, and I get the little. I put my albums up for free, so you don't actually have to buy it. And 3 or 4 times, I've gotten somebody's bought your album for $3 or $5. Somebody I don't even know, and even though it's only 3 people, the feeling of wow, somebody actually cares enough to not just listen to my album, but download it. And yes, it's 3 people, but that's still pretty cool if there are those 3 people out there who I don't even know.
I may have had 1 or 2 people buy it, but I haven't seen that money. I'm guessing you have to hit a certain amount before they actually pay you out.
Bandcamp actually, they send it out right away.
They must be holding back on me then.
Yeah, but it's, you do Bandcamp as well?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them up there, so.
Jay, so you don't have any music albums, do you?
Just stuff that I've done with other people. I don't release any of my stuff on, just as myself. No.
What you need to do is a comedy album. When are you going to put out an album of your material?
Oh, that may never happen. That probably will never happen.
You don't strike me as the shy type, so what's the reason?
Oh, no, I'm not shy. No, I don't know. It seems weird for people at my level to record an album. Nobody knows my name. Yeah, I'm a regular at a handful of comedy clubs, but I'm not the headliner every night. So it would be strange to have why is the guy that goes up towards the beginning selling albums?
Well,
It just seems strange.
Why is that stranger than me releasing an album? Nobody's heard of me. I mean,
Well, no, I guess that's true. I guess there's a double standard when it comes to stand-up comedy. No one. Yes, I very well could, and there are plenty of people that do that. Relatively unknowns that record an album and then put it out, and then no one buys it, and then you feel like garbage. The only problem with that is if you record a comedy album and then you sell it, you then can't go back on stage and do that because then you want people to buy the album. So if they've already bought the album and heard the jokes, they're not going to pay to see you perform it again. So you have to completely get rid of all of the material, which is about an hour generally. A comedy album's about an hour. So it takes a long time to build up that material, and then you have to burn it and start all over again. So for me, it probably won't happen. And if it does happen, it probably won't happen very soon. Something more likely for me would be to do like come up with like skits, you know, like the old Adam Sandler albums, that kind of thing, which have nothing to do with the stand-up. It would just be written out, you know, sketches. That's probably more of a reality. I probably won't do that either, but if I was going to, I would assume I would do something like that.
And no albums from you
I can't
either.
sing. You crazy?
Oh man, but every so often I listen to the Random Thoughts intro and I'm like, that's some quality singing right there.
Oh god.
Oh, but it's perfectly awful. You have to understand, like, you hit every off note, like, it's such a great way.
What is Random Thoughts? Is that something on one of your albums?
Well, it's an intro for one of, was it a,
I used to do videos where I would review movies or whatever I was talking about. So,
that was kind of like the precursor to Bride of Chickenstein.
yeah,
it was
like random thoughts are coming
in your way. Listen to what I have to
Yeah,
say.
it was kind of Oompa like.
It's a good track. Remind me to send it to you somewhere. If I
That's the
want
thing where I'm always just like, hey, I'm going to do this thing, and then make me a theme, and then I use it a handful of times. And I'm like, I'm done doing that.
But once again, it's just something that exists now. And I mean, if you hadn't asked me to do that, I couldn't have gone back and listened to it and go, this is a fun thing to listen to every once in a while.
Like, if you go back through my old YouTube, it's like me sitting on the couch talking about movies. Then it's like video game stuff, and then like the last 3 years have been nothing but board games and like occasional clips of video games. Or just me not on camera anymore. So it's been like, it's all over the place.
Your branding's a little mixed.
Yeah, I don't like being stuck in stuff. You'll see those people on YouTube and they're doing a bunch of things, and then one thing hits, and then all of a sudden that's all they do.
Right.
Like, oh, someone liked me talking about a Barbie, so now I'm a Barbie collector.
Me and a Barbie, me and a
It's
different
just
Barbie,
like-
me and a Barbie.
That's bullshit a lot of
At
times.
this point, you can get your internet celebrity. You have to start a channel that does cat videos. We all know they're big. You have those two adorable kittens upstairs. I'm sure you'd hit it big. Get racking the views if you just did videos holding your cats and watching them.
I mean, what you should
Like-
do is gameplay footage, and then there's just a constant cat feed in the corner.
Yeah.
So if people get bored of watching the game, they look at the cute little cats.
There you go.
I saw something like that on Twitch. I don't know how many people go on Twitch. People stream it. Well, it's mostly video games, but now they've added like free chat or whatever. And you see these girls on there who have like tiny little screen in the corner that's a video game playing, which I don't think they're even playing a lot of times. Giant screen of them with low-cut shirts. And this girl then in the other corner had a really tiny another video. It's just her cat laying on her bed. And then she was just talking to people, and I'm just like, and there's like 1,000 people. I'm like, who's watching this?
Lonely men.
I guess. And they're like donating her money, and I'm just like, it's like, you could just go another step and just be a cam girl.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I've seen videos like that. There's just a lot more nudity.
It's like they don't want to get naked, so they're doing this, but it's always ridiculous where there's just a little tiny screen with like a video game playing, and then the rest is just
And that makes
her.
it count as video game
Yeah.
footage, right?
And I'm like, I don't see your hands, so I'm probably not playing.
It's not a sexual life. I don't know if you've seen. What I've seen a lot of videos lately is this this reaction video trend, which is just bizarre. If you search for like any popular current music video or other things, you'll find the video itself, but then you'll also find videos of people watching the video.
Oh,
so there will be
absolutely.
like a little corner of the video that's being watched, and then you're just watching a normal person like watch the video and they'll laugh a bit or they'll point, and it's like I'm watching somebody. I don't know.
Now,
And these have tens of thousands of views. I don't understand.
Now, there's certain things I can understand that working for, and the reason I understand it working is, let's say you have, I don't know, you guys big video gamers at all? Not really.
No.
But, let's say there was a favorite movie or something like that, which, like, the first time you watched it, it blew your mind. But you watch it over and over and you get numb to the experience. Then you can watch a video of someone having their first experience. It's almost like you're leeching off their, like, first-time viewership joy. You'd be like, oh, he's going to find that thing. He's going to be real excited like I was, but can't be anymore. I get a little bit of that, but someone going like, oh, my God, the way she said that part of the song? Oh, it's great. Let's click play. Oh, man, that instrumental breakdown.
I don't know, maybe I'm too antisocial. I can see that, showing it to, a friend or a partner or something, and, taking joy in their pleasure. That makes perfect sense to me watching it again. But just some random stranger, it's like, I don't really care what you like or if you're getting joy out of this.
You know what infuriates me is when they have children react to things that I like old music videos or something. Like, oh, look at kids are watching a Guns N' Roses video, and I'm like, this is what these kids are clearly being told, like, overreact to whatever you're hearing. And it's like, what you're doing this to get. We're supposed to watch this and react to children overreacting to things that we like. How is that entertainment to anybody? I don't get it.
Talking about the Fine Bros, I think, React channel. They have kids react, teens react, adults react, elders react.
Do they have dogs react yet?
No, I'm surprised not. Oh yeah, and YouTubers react. Bring in the famous YouTubers.
Right, because that's what we need to see more of, is famous YouTube people reacting to YouTube people.
But that's got big enough now. Now they bring in celebrities sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Whoever's promoting stuff. It's always funny where it's like, there's Jack Black reacting to people reacting to Jack Black, and then it's like, oh, you go to the other channel. Oh, there's Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link. Oh, there's Jack Black. Oh, he's now eating hot stuff on the channel.
Yeah, the same thing happens with podcasts too. If someone, there's a good handful of podcasts that are in both New York and LA. So if someone's got a movie or something coming out, you'll notice all the podcasts in LA get the one guest, and then they all release the episode in the same week. And it's like, how many times can you hear the same person talk about the same things?
Just heard Bert Kreischer.
I don't think they're expecting you to find all of them. I think they're spreading it, hoping you'll run into one version of them talking about it.
My question is, why would they release them all on the same day? Like, if I were promoting a movie, and let's say I'm in LA for a week, and I'm promoting this movie that I have, and a lot of people, because that's set up through publicists. That's not just a guy asking another guy, hey, will you come on my podcast? That's a very intentional thing. So knowing that I was going to go to 5 different podcasts in 2 or 3 days and talk about the same thing, I would then tell them, hey, I won't sign off on you releasing this until this date. And then I would do that with all of them so that every week I was on a different show. Not every day, all in 1 week. Spread it all out so that, a month and a half from now, I'm still in your face talking about this thing. So I'm really getting the word out, but it's not so overbearing that you're like, I don't want to listen to any of this. This guy's been on 12 podcasts in a week.
Nobody cares about a month and a half out anymore. I mean, as we all know, it's all about the opening weekend. That's it. I mean, it's on video a month and a half out. All they want to make sure is that whatever podcast anybody listens to, the podcast you listen to, this star is on, so that the opening weekend is going to make that extra $1 million, whatever it is. I mean, it's all about the saturation there. I don't think anybody's playing the long game anymore like that. And I have to imagine, for whatever reason, that's more economically effective, or else they would play the long game. But for whatever reason, it's all about that first weekend oversaturation.
It's true. I just, I listen to a podcast at work, and I listen to a lot of ones that have comedians on, and I'm just like, okay, these are all the same person. They must have a Netflix special coming out. I'm like, oh, yep, they do.
Right.
But not the same as that, but I listen to a lot of Kevin Smith podcasts, and he has a ton. And you listen, and I'm like, okay, he's going to tell that same story on each podcast. Yeah. And you're just like, oh, skip.
It turns you away from wanting to listen to those shows when all right, it's going to be the same guest on these 3 shows. At that point, you're like, well, I don't even know that I want to listen to this show anymore. I'll move on to something else, which stinks because I don't know about you guys, but when I find a show that I like, I want to hear all of them. I subscribe and I want to hear. But there's a reason that I liked it, So all right, let's have some more of this. And then you realize, like, oh, okay, they're all exactly the same. They're all talking to the same guests about the same thing and whatever. And it's like, well, now I don't want to listen to any of it.
And I commit to you that I'm not going to be on anybody else's podcast this week. So this is all exclusive to you.
Yeah, when that happens, I'll pick a certain podcast. Like if I know, a comedian, I'll go with Your Mom's House podcast because that's other comedians. And then he'll play sick clips and make them react to them, and it'll make me laugh. And it's different than the other ones, what he does on there. So, which I'm forgetting his name. He's a comedian.
Tom
Yeah.
Tom Segura.
Yeah, and his wife. So, like, I know, like, if it's Bert, they're friends. So it's going to be completely different.
Right, it's not going to be an interview.
Then, the standard, like, I'm interviewing you. So, plus he always plays funny, disgusting clips. makes people react to them.
But now getting back to the React thing, now what is it that you like about, is it just like, I mean, I guess in that sense, if we're talking about shock, you know, when you're, kind of like when you see something shocking, you almost wish there were people next to you so you could see like the sensitive person and the tough person.
Well, I think he's talking about ones where someone's watching a trailer and you see a little picture and they just sit there and do nothing.
Right.
And you're just watching someone do nothing.
They'll laugh or they'll point or make a little comment, but it's just them sitting there like a normal person. Just
and I see those all the time. And at the end, they're like, "That was a good trailer," and then the video ends. Like, I could have watched the trailer.
I think the big difference between the two is the difference between the audio and the visual mediums. In a podcast, for the most part, they're all audio only. So when someone like your mom's house plays an audio clip, you have to then envision what they're playing. So it has to be very obvious what they're playing.
Or you can watch the YouTube video. You can see the clip in the background if
Right.
you want.
But still, the initial experience.
But it's
is like,
usually
you're hearing it. So it's in your brain, and it's a different. If there's a video of someone watching another video, and the point is that you're watching them watch the video, that I cannot think of anything that's more boring than that. But when you're hearing something happening and you're hearing someone react to it,
and
it is different. I don't know why, but it is different.
And they're cracking jokes. It's not just blank silence of the video playing. Like Tom likes videos where people get hurt. So all you hear is like someone fall and like this horrendous funny scream.
And they're trying
Tom
to describe
loses
it.
his shit. His wife's like, "You're crazy." And then he's like, "What do you think of that?" And then the other guy's just like,
Yeah, a lot of times they're describing what's happening, which sometimes is more funny than if you actually do see the video itself. You're like, oh, it didn't seem that severe if you just watch the video, but the way they describe it makes it seem overinflated.
And it's usually him trying to get people to prove that people being hurt is hilarious and that he's not a psychopath.
Okay, so it's an ongoing crusade of
Yes.
trying to make this.
A lot of them also, too, are just weird clips of like,
Or he'll try to get his wife to puke by playing puke videos, that kind of thing.
and she just leaves the room. Makes me laugh every time. Although I don't like puke sounds either. I'm like, skip.
But you have to stay through it. Just, I want to hear her leave. I'm going to throw an idea out there, a YouTube idea, real quick. Film a video of you reacting to a video of yourself, then film a video of you reacting to that video, and see how many stages out you can go.
See how far you can get into the inception.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So it's just Owen turns, and then Owen.
we sort of did that with Slingshot Cops. When we filmed Slingshot Cops in Matt's garage, which was supposed to be the police station, there was a picture. It said person of interest, and it was a picture of John Cross. So one of the days I was there filming, I had Matt take a picture of me pointing to John Cross. And I sent it to John. And then John then took a picture of himself pointing to me in the picture of him pointing to him. And then I sent another, and then he sent it to me, and then we just kept going. And then like Oliver Harris jumped in, and there was a picture of Ollie pointing to a picture of me pointing to and it just kept going and going and going. So I like this idea.
How many stages out did you get?
Oh, maybe 4 or 5.
All right.
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5. It was really funny. But yeah, no, it's similar idea. Do a reaction video of a reaction video of a reaction video. See how far you can go.
You can only make that joke once, so
Yeah.
it's better to get it in now.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the reaction channels have died down, though.
I
Fine
hope
Brothers
so.
is still going, but it started out as you used to be able to post reply videos on YouTube. They got rid of it. So what it was a girl with a big breast, low-cut shirt, reacting to a video, and then she'd put it as a reply. They were called reply girls. They were literally just girls with low-cut shirts making completely ridiculous reply videos, and they were getting huge views. And then YouTube got rid of that, pretty much killed off the reply girl. So then the reaction videos came out. So then there was people trying to claim the videos because they're using their video in the video, and then they're like, "Well, you can't claim our videos because we're adding insight," which most of them aren't.
And that's kind of what killed Equals 3, though, right? It's that it was him.
No, he
like,
just didn't. He doesn't want that guy. Didn't want to be called a YouTuber,
Oh, okay.
and he just quit because he was full of himself. They tried to replace him. He had someone else come in, and no one watched it. But yeah, he would just play 3 videos and react to them.
How does it? Because you were saying earlier that one of your videos of Grand Theft Auto, I think, has like 800,000 views.
Yeah.
And you said that you haven't gotten paid anything.
When I could do ads, I think I have like $120 put away, but I haven't really put in my tax info and shit, so they just keep sending me emails like, we got this money. I'm like, man, it ain't worth my time. But then like a couple of what was it, earlier this year, last year, they're just like, you need to have a certain amount of play time per view. It's like some high number, and you had to have over 1,000 subscribers. So I have over 1,000. I don't have enough view time, so I can't have ads anymore.
All the more reason to keep putting out videos, though.
But now the thing is, each video you're saying has to have a certain amount of view time?
No, just together.
Oh, your total. Okay, so yeah, you do want to flip
So
this.
someone clicking on it and clicking off after 2 seconds, it doesn't really add up.
You should just put up a 10-hour video that's like, comment at what time you see the bunny. It's like 8 hours in. It's
Somehow we figured out how to put a naked lady in this video. See if you can find it.
And Charlie's done that. You know, he has his videos now on Amazon of like Babbling Brook and of his dog like sleeping.
Yeah.
But like they keep changing stuff. But like videos now that I put out are hit or miss. Like Jake and I playing a board game, 10 views. Who knows who even watched it that long? But then it's like Jake and I playing Jumanji, 50K views.
Right.
Well, it was around the time the new Jumanji came out.
The same thing happened with me in podcasting. So for a long time, it was you could count on one hand how many people were listening. And then you grow a very small audience and it stays the same. And then every once in a while, it's like, whoa, how many thousand people listen to this one particular episode? And nothing was being done different. It wasn't like I was booking, A-list celebrities. It wasn't like the promotion was any different. It's just every once in a while, we'd get just a ton of downloads. And then it would go back to normal, and then you start growing another small audience, and those people would hang on, or they branch off, and you get a different type of audience, and then 2 or 3 episodes in a row, you'd get thousands and thousands of downloads. And you're like, all right, I guess I'm doing something right. I didn't change anything, but okay. And then after a couple of weeks, then it goes right back down. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what the weird algorithm
I think for YouTube, for board games, it's what people are looking for. So us playing some obscure board game that no one's heard of, no one's going to search for it, but people are looking up,
how to play
Valley
this game.
High.
Yeah.
And they're like, I want to watch 2 dudes play a teenage girl board game.
Right.
And speaking Valley girl
I mean,
voices.
I always thought some of it too with some of this internet stuff is like, I think there's got to be certain viewers out there that are real fire starters, that are popular in their own circles. And if you happen to snag one of those and they share it amongst their circle, then you get like a lot more branching out of those fireworks. So, once again, you still wonder, how did this one person stumble across my thing? They just happen to search for it. But I feel like those kind of people that have those followings and spread it have some sort of like untold like power over what is seen and what isn't.
Because I supposedly have about 1,500 subscribers. But most videos I get 20 views, and a friend will leave a comment.
Yeah.
But the ones that get a little bigger, for whatever reason, people searching for the game, they'll have random comments. Usually you played it wrong, or you guys need to shave, which always happens. Or
Do you get more negative or positive comments, or neutral?
It's mixed. Some people come in and just leave a shitty comment. I haven't gotten any in a while, but on the GTA train one, literally, I climb on a train, and it's moving, and I shoot a car. That's it. I don't know why I even put the video up. Nothing happens. I don't know why it blew up either.
I mean, that makes you want to
But people come in this is stupid. Why do you put this up? It's dumb. I'm just like, yes.
See, that's one of those cases, though, where it'd be really cool to, look at the actual, whatever collected data says where it was shared and to figure out, what exactly, where is that video being used as a joke in some Russian forum, and you'll never know, but it's, super popular. It's oh, man, on train shoots car, ha, ha, ha. That's one where it would be really interesting to find out why so many people are watching it, considering it's just you on a train shooting a car.
My favorite comment was on one of our board game videos, and it said, "You guys fart and burp too much." And I don't remember it being in that video, so maybe he watched a bunch, because he's always burping.
Hey, what can I say? I can't.
And,
it's not like we cut the video, so.
So for some reason, I clicked on that guy, went to his channel. He had one video where he's walking around a store pushing a fart button in his pocket, like a prank video. I'm like, I'm really confused by this comment now. It's is he mad because we're farting and burping, even though his one video is fart prank?
Well, yeah, you're cutting in on his fart time.
Man,
this is what I do.
I can't make real farts. I can only make.
And I get the occasional you know, you guys shouldn't be swearing playing children's board games. Like someone's kid must have watched it. And we're just like, yeah, let's suck a dick. It's like this weird shit.
See now isn't that a powerful feeling? I mean, it doesn't matter how many views or subscribers you have, just to know that you entered one random person's nice suburban home and this nice suburban mom walks in and there's you and some dude like, hey, fucking game. I mean, that's home invasion at its finest.
I was like, I don't know what you expected. It's two adults playing a children's board game. I know. But you do see those really creepy channels. I don't know how they get big where they're like for children, but it's like an adult male, and he's just like, I'm playing with this toy. And it's creepy, but kids watch it, and it says it's okay for kids.
Oh, so it's supposed to be like, I'm talking in a way kids understand.
Yeah, I'm playing with this. This is fun. Slime on my face. I'm just like, you're like 40. This is creepy. And then it got real creepy, because there's this whole channel of teenage girls, like 12, and they're doing stuff, and it's just like they're in really small bikinis in some of them. I'm like, this is not right. And then like they're tying each other up.
That's weird. But how many hours of research did you do
Not
that
a lot.
you didn't like this?
Wait,
Not
did
a
it just
lot.
show up in the sidebar? Or
Well,
were
it
you like-
showed up because the guy was arrested for, you know, doing inappropriate stuff to children.
So, I mean, that
He
was
literally had a channel. He hired girls. The parents would drop them off with this 50-year-old man and leave to do an acting gig. And he would put them in small skirts and have them tie each other up and tickle each other. And it's like, it ran for a long time. No one's like, something wrong here. And it was being shoved out to children as like, it would show up like, they have like children's devices. They're like, they can only see certain videos. So that would come through on the children's YouTube app. But there's a lot of channels like that.
So when do you start yours? We just want to know how much money is going to be rolling in.
Bigfoot tied up for kids.
What you said? You looked on Amazon. I mean, it's such an. I keep having with Owen. I keep sending him suggestions of Bigfoot sex comedies, which you've watched like 2 or 3 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Which is more than I've gotten through like 10 minutes of them.
Well, if you look on there is hundreds, not thousands, of Bigfoot erotica.
There's books. I mean, the books are like
Yeah.
And they're always terrible covers. It's like a shirtless guy, and he's just like paste a gorilla face on him. I'm like, and it's like, Bigfoot had sex with me. I'm like,
That's not Bigfoot.
yeah.
Don't you know? It's a mask.
Try. But I assume it must either thrown out and hoping someone will buy it out of curiosity, or
I hope you don't mind. I mean, I did suggest to Jay that he can bring your Bigfoot costume home with him for any lady friend who might be interested in that. Jay turned it down.
No,
but it's,
I like Bigfoot,
Give
but
him
not that
the
way.
dirty one.
you
Yeah.
have to cut a hole.
Nah, that's not really my thing. Thank you for the suggestion, but yeah, no, that's not really for me. I must say that the worst Bigfoot movie I've ever seen was Yeti: A Gay Love Story, and that's pretty much what you think it's going to be. It's just like
was
it's.
it pretending to be serious, or was it just like?
Oh no!
comedy?
I mean, it's a trauma movie, so there's no
Okay.
such thing as a
Yeah,
serious
no,
trauma
that-
movie.
yes,
Well, it's not what you expect it's going to be, because it says a love story, but he just rapes people.
Yeah. Well, I think the word "love" was in quotes.
But I saw the sequel first, and I enjoyed it.
But there's a sequel to Yeti: A Love
Yes.
Story.
A gay love story.
Gay love story.
Yeti: A Gay Love Story to Something in the Streets. I saw that, and a guy saves the Yeti from being a hooker. They fall in love, and they have a baby. So there's actually a love story in that.
Right, the second one, obviously.
And it's like funny. It's ridiculous stuff. Like there's a cop just like standing behind a trash can as they're talking, and they leave, and he's just in plain sight. He's like, yes. And I enjoyed that. Then I went and watched the first one. I'm like, this is fucking terrible.
Yeah, it is really bad. It is really bad. And as someone that really appreciates trauma for what trauma is, even I was like, nah, this is bad. This is way
And
bad.
I don't think the sequel was put out by Trauma.
No, I don't think
it's
so
not
either.
on their channel.
No.
Was the sequel made by the same people?
Yes.
Why was there such a big shift in tone? I wonder.
I don't know.
Maybe they were like, the original intent was that movie, and Trump was like, no, let's do this. He's like, I didn't do it. I'm like, let's do the love story.
Because then that other one that you sent me, which I don't remember, that one's also about a talking Bigfoot that rapes people to death. I'm just like, I guess.
One of the Bigfoot sex comedies that I sent.
Yeah.
I don't even remember their names.
And that, like, I kind of enjoyed that. It was stupid, but you could clear they were just having fun together and stuff. They were overacting and had bad wigs and mustaches on. And the whole plot was their friend was a virgin, so they all got together, and one of the 3 girls there was, I guess, gonna have sex with him. I guess one was his mom, even though she was like the same age as them. It's one of those things. But then like this alien, I guess he was supposed to be an alien. Yeah, they had the same Bigfoot suit I did, but they cut the mouth part off because the guy had a beard, and then put a wig on top.
Weird.
Well, that's how they dealt with the neck issue. See, you could learn from them.
And he did have some makeup on and stuff, but yeah, his whole thing was he was just going to rape people to death. I don't even know why, but then he raped people to death. I watched it with my friend Amy, and she hated it. I was like,
Did you
Wait,
warn her in advance
Yeah.
what you were intending to show her?
I was trying to get people to watch it, and she was the only one that agreed.
So she agreed. You told her, I'm going to watch a movie,
Yeah.
a Bigfoot sex movie.
Would you
like
watch-
to watch it with me?
Will you watch Sex Squatch with me? Here's a trailer. Here's the poster, and she said yes.
Okay, well, she said
Well,
yes.
that's her own fault.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's her own fault.
And I said, that's what we're going to expect. She's like, I don't know. I mean, she watches bad movies anyways, too, so she's a VHS collector. So we've watched a couple of Bigfoot movies together, and they've been all kind of boring mostly. But we did watch the UHF Halloween special, and that one was pretty good. It's filmed like it's from the 80s, and it's like a TV broadcast of a news channel, and this guy's going to that house, it's like, it's haunted in here. And then people start dying, for real. But it's all shot like it's from the 80s. They're trying to do a sequel, not a Kickstarter. It was like a GoFundMe, which I thought was odd for a movie. A GoFundMe.
GoFundMe, you get to keep the money no matter if you don't make the goal. So that's why people like it.
But Backer does that too, I think. I know Bigfoot, the movie 2, is being Kickstarted or GoFundMe, one of them.
And I will say about Bigfoot the movie, which I still don't have the affection you do for, but at least it wasn't. At least it moved quickly. I mean, when I was trying to watch a bunch of Bigfoot movies in preparation for today, I was just surprised at how slow most of them are. I mean, how many shots of people wandering through the woods for minutes on end,
Yep.
snap branch or looking over here, and I don't know, just
Well, there's no reason for anticipation with Bigfoot because it's not like some monster that you then find out what it is. It's like it's going to be a big hairy. There's no need to make me wait to see Bigfoot.
but they're not even building up suspense effectively. I mean, it just feels like people. Now it's zombie movies that anybody can make. But it feels like for a while people were like, okay, Bigfoot movies, put them out in the woods, they'll walk along, minutes of footage of people walking along, you see a shadow, maybe a hand, it's just...
There's so much they could do, though, but they follow the same tropes. There's someone sees a Bigfoot, it's killed someone they know, nobody believes them. There's going to be someone in town, mayor, cop, being like, shut up. And then there's a lot of times there's someone that wants it. Like,
I want to catch it and put it in a zoo or cut its head off.
A Native American might show up and just say something like, ooh, backstory and ancient spirits. Even like the kids' movies have that. The Killer Bigfoot movies have that. And then like the Killer Bigfoot movies are just standard. Like either they're killing someone just because they're in the area, or they shot their child. It's just like nobody's doing anything different. I still think Christmas clock.
Yeah, I know.
The time at the tone is 2 o'clock.
This is the intermission period of your podcast. Go up and get some popcorn. Bigfoot approved.
But I still think I want a slasher type Bigfoot movie set on Christmas. Basically the Grinch. All the lights are bothering him, and he goes into a suburb and he starts just killing people with Christmas related stuff. Choking them with lights, icicle stabbing them, just busting through windows. And
Elf on the shelf, more like elf on yourself.
there was a movie called Dear God No. It's about bikers. It's alright. It starts out kind of like just bikers. They're like, you can kind of call what's going to happen. Like, oh, they kidnapped some people in a house. Oh, there's a pregnant woman. I bet you they rape her and cut the baby out. 2 seconds later. Oh, surprise.
Does that happen a lot?
If there's a pregnant woman in a horror movie, they're going to cut the baby out.
I don't have as much experience.
There's no reason to do it. Like, oh, I'm shocked. Like, no, I called it. But then, like, a Bigfoot just busts through the window and just yanks a guy out. I mean, you saw a little bit of the Bigfoot earlier, but I'm just like, yes, more of that. And then he throws the other half in, so it's like guts hanging out. He's like, ah, for a little bit before he dies. And then you really don't see the Bigfoot much after that. They did make a sequel I haven't seen, but just like the thought of someone like, oh, it's snowing now, and just like Bigfoot through the window. just a slasher with a Bigfoot. That's why Night of the Demon was great. It was a slasher with a Bigfoot. They had a dumb story about how apparently Bigfoot raped this girl and they had a baby. And I've watched it a couple of times and I'm just like, because they like, she's like, oh, you know, her father killed it when she had it or whatever. So there's a scene of them digging up a grave and looking like, oh my God, it's true. And the shot, and I'm like, I think that's just a cow skull. And I keep watching, I'm like, that is a cow skull. I guess that was supposed to be the dead baby Bigfoot.
And that's what Bigfoot plus human equals cow.
But that one, like, he rips the dick off. He kills someone. He picks up an axe and kills them. And before Friday the 13th did it, guy in a sleeping bag swings it and throws it. He gets impaled. He grabs 2 Girl Scouts who are clearly in their 30s. And they're both holding knives, and he just makes them stab themselves. Just ridiculous shit like that. And it's hilarious. It's not well made, but I laughed. 5-star movie in my book.
So take all of the things that you liked from that movie and the ideas of that, and make the movie that you want to see.
You want me to make a full
No, but it start with
movie?
Bigfoot steals my life, and then
The horror murder.
right, and then maybe it spawns off to Bigfoot killed my grandma or something. I don't know.
So is that like an equivalent of the Hitcher, where like everyone that does believe it's not you but Bigfoot, he just kills them?
And I still think there's room for a children's Halloween Bigfoot movie. They befriend a Bigfoot and they go trick or treating.
And just
Other than Harry and the Hendersons, I guess, are there any
Yes.
kids Bigfoot
Little
movies?
Little Bigfoot 2.
Those are animated.
Well, they just
No,
put out a Bigfoot animated
Yes.
kids movie. Like I think it's in theaters now, right?
No.
Or was
That's a Yeti movie.
whatever. Same.
They put out a Bigfoot movie where
No, it's called Littlefoot.
that one's called Littlefoot.
Yeah.
There's another one that came out before it, straight to video, where a kid finds out his dad's Bigfoot. And then he starts growing hair and big feet as well. And has to save his dad. Which I kind of like the plot. There's a guy who wants Bigfoot because he's bald and he's trying to make... Because, like, Bigfoot will shave and he grows back. So he's trying to capture Bigfoot to figure out how he can make this hair tonic. Which, you don't see he's bald, but I'm like, that dude's bald. And then his hair wig falls off. And he's like, no! I'm like, of course. Which is kind of the idea I had for a different Bigfoot thing where, well, it was mixed, but it was first it was a scientist trying to heal his wife, but then it became a Bigfoot that wanted to be human. So he captured a werewolf to make a serum, so Bigfoot could become human.
The thing that turns it.
Yes.
Does it work the other way like that?
And he was testing it on people, and they would become zombies because he hadn't perfected it. It would kill them, and they came back. And he abducted a hunter, and the hunter escapes and has to fight zombies, and then a werewolf, and then a talking scientist Bigfoot.
That sounds like a really bizarre
So it
movie.
sounds like you already have the movie that you can put these.
Well, it was a video game idea. I was playing Far Cry, and I was like, because Far Cry is a really big open world you can play. So it was like, Far Cry, I mean, I can't make a video game, obviously, but that's originally where the idea came from.
Can't make a video game with an attitude like that.
I can't make anything, let's be honest.
You made something today.
Yeah, we
It's
made
not
something.
made yet.
Well, it's on you now.
That's true.
Let's edit this thing and get it up. We're never gonna get that YouTube money
You
unless
can't
you edit it.
You can't release the podcast until like a day before the movie, though. They gotta hype it. So.
Actually, what you should do is you should release this podcast 5 times in a row, so that it's just us talking about the same thing over and over and over 5 times in a row, so that no one listens to
All
it.
right, time for episode 2. Here we go.
Yeah.
I know, I just need to start getting guest spots and talk about it.
Yeah.
And everyone drop it on the same day.
Hint, hint, everybody we know.
Just drop it all on the same day.
That's right.
Oversaturated Owen.
Well, getting back to the, I wanted to ask this question. I'm not sure if you're going to ask it, but I was curious about the inception of the song. I mean, I've heard a little bit, but I'm kind of curious as what inspired the song that inspired the music video.
I think I came to realize, I think I discussed this on the previous episode, but that the best way to get people to listen to my songs is to write it about them, because then the person will at least listen. I'll have some audience person. So I just started going through people I know and writing songs about them. And so when I got to Owen, I was like, okay, what do I know about him? I knew that he likes Bigfoot, from the illustrations that you've drawn. And I knew that he lived up here in the wilds of Vermont. And I was like, okay, so what? And that he liked movies, obviously. So that's basically where it came from. I was just trying to do fun song about Owen that hopefully he and other people would like. And I think it's one of the better ones on the album. I think it came out pretty well. So that was basically no big mystery. Just trying to get more listens. It all comes down to the bass commercialism, doesn't it? Always come down.
So where
to
can
that.
you hear this album full of songs of other people?
I took a cue from Matt Farley of Motrin Media's handbook and did something that's very not commercially savvy, which is release my albums under different artist names. So if you like one album by me, you're not going to find the other albums by me unless you know about it. So this album, one of my musical identities is The Other Strange Man, who, I can't remember the full. Matt Farley has a band name, something like The Strange Man Who Something Dead Animals or Other. So I called one of my bands The Other Strange Man Who, same thing, I can't even remember what it was. But the album with Owen's song on it is on Bandcamp and Spotify under The Other Strange Man. It's an album called I Got a Flat Tire on My Way to the Motrin Media Show, something like that. But that's all songs about people who go to the Motrin Media shows, like Owen didn't go, but within that ambit.
Everybody else that actually showed up.
Right. And then I have a band called Opinionated Whiskers, which is all of my beard songs about beards. Then I have an album by Burger Stuffer Supreme, which is songs about competitive eating. So those are the three that are out now. But the one with Owen's song is on the Other Strange Man's album. But thank you for asking me that, so I'm good to get that out there.
Absolutely.
Here's a question for Jay. Where's the podcast?
The podcast is coming back. We're on temporary hiatus. So Seth and I were talking about this on the way up as well. I was finding it very difficult to rant about things that I'm not passionate about. So it got to the point where I was doing 45 minutes to an hour, but completely checking out because I was ranting about literally anything. I'd have to write something down and say, all right, get mad about this and just start yelling because I had no other content. So it was getting to be very difficult to do that week after week because there was no passion behind it whatsoever. So I guess I just needed to live a little more life. Dating for stories is a great segment, but if you're only dating one person, how many stories can you have before they get mad at you? That kind of thing. So I guess I just needed to live a little more life and experience a few more things so that I had something to talk about consistently, which I'm getting to that point now. And I also need to follow through on having more guests on, which we got away from for 2.5 years. We would have the rare guest co-host, but we never really sat down with a guest. So I actually need to, put my money where my mouth is and follow the advice that I'm giving everybody else and actually sit down and follow through on doing all of that. But there are things in the works currently. We'll be back in a week or two, probably. I don't know when this comes out, but it'll probably be shortly after this is released. I'm sure there will be a new episode of Hold the Mail coming out. Probably with some voices that you've heard before. Maybe some return guests, maybe some new guests, maybe some people that you've heard on the show before, and maybe some people that you've never heard on the show before, but certainly will be coming back. So just a temporary hiatus.
So you're, if all of your rants weren't necessarily genuine, you had to write them out in advance. Your whole giving me grief about White Sox, was that actually legitimate, or is this just one of your...
Okay, so here's the backstory on that. I got mad for like 4 seconds because I did see one guy at the gas station, and I was like, this guy's a fucking dad boner. I can't... He was like extra dad boner. And it was funny, but it also made me mad. I mean, yeah, he was blasting Lenny Kravitz in his convertible Mini Cooper, and he had the White Sox and the plain white shoes and the cargo the whole deal, right? The total dad boner package. But the fact that you chimed in and you're like, hey, I wear that stuff, I was like, this just gives me some more fuel for the fire. And so for me, what I always fear is that people don't know that I'm joking. I mean, it's a comedy podcast. I'm a comedian. Like, I sometimes fear, like, oh, I hope Seth knows that I'm just goofing and I'm not really mad at people and I don't look down at him because he wears that. Which is why, in a retaliation to you saying all that stuff, I was like, I'm mad at people that are fake mad at being dad boners, and So yes, there's a basis of truth. Like most of my comedy material that I do on stage, there's always a basis of truth. I did see that guy at the gas station, and I was like, this guy's a friggin' nerd. But yeah, I wasn't furious about it. Not so much so that I needed to do 3 separate episodes about it. But yeah, it was just giving me a little bit of fuel to the fire, and giving me something to talk about for a little while.
Now, in this period, do you like take notes every time something really irks you, or like how do you use it, like mental notes, or?
So in the past, it would be just whatever happened in the week. I would think back when my former co-host was on the show. We would sit down for maybe 10 minutes before the show and just go over what happened in our week. And the way the show was formatted, we never scripted anything. We never really talked in advance about what we were going to talk about. It would just be, oh, I had a show and I bombed, and she did this and whatever. And then when we found something like, oh, that's of substance, let's talk about that, we'd stop talking about it and hit the record button and just launch into whatever it was. So we had our general idea of, okay, well, I know that something happened to her this week, so that's how we're going to start the episode. It's going to be me asking her, well, what happened this week? And then she launches into a whole thing. But I didn't know anything about it. It was just we would go over topics that happened. No specifics whatsoever. So I was discovering as the listener was discovering, and vice versa. Now I actually keep a rolling thing in my phone of notes of just an experience, just to give me some sort of starting point. I never know where it's going to go, but I'll, like the guy at the gas station, I wrote down, dad boner at the gas station. So then when I went to record the episode, I just recalled from memory, oh yeah, I remember that guy, what an idiot. And then I just described in furious detail, what this guy was wearing and why it made me so mad and why other people that dress like that make me mad and that I'm disappointed in people. And it's just really to fill time. But yeah, I do now take notes on things that happen throughout the week. So something that I may get into in an upcoming podcast would be, I donated some furniture to the Salvation Army, and the gentleman working at the Salvation Army was so put off by me bringing them things to sell to make them money. Like, I donated this stuff, like furniture and housewares and things, like very good quality stuff, so that they could then turn a profit on that and use that for charity and use that for people that are in recovery and things, all the great things that Salvation Army is supposed to do. And this guy did nothing but hassle me and was really rude, and like it sent me into like a blind fury. I'm like, what? You would think this guy would be the nicest man in the world. Like, thank you so much for all of these things.
Well, I don't want to steal this story from your future podcast, but I worked at a Goodwill for 3 years.
Okay.
And you do have to understand that the man at the door is not the man in the place.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I mean, I guess it depends on the day. Like, were you behind a line of 20 cars that were each solid full?
Nope.
No.
I was the only guy there.
Okay, see, that's just someone being...
Yeah, it was just a guy being a jerk for no
I've
reason.
thrown a couch because you have 5 cars like backed up and you want to be able to give everyone that energy of thank you so much, but when you just see, it's just like anything commercial. If you see just the giant block of what humanity does,
right.
And most of them are just like, you want to take this dirty microwave too? I don't want to go. I've gotten bags of trash there.
Sure.
So you can get grumpy and lose sight of the overall goal.
And that happens with everybody's job. I wasn't looking for a ticker tape parade being thrown for me. What I wasn't looking for was to almost fist fight the guy when I'm dropping off furniture. Like, that seemed a bit aggressive for no reason.
Right.
Yeah, so it's something like that. Like, I write down on my phone, aggressive guy at the Salvation Army,
Yes.
and then I'll just recall the story and rant for... And of course, I over-express how I feel about it, and, that's how comedy works, obviously. But yeah, that's the sort of thing that I've been doing recently is, I'll write down a couple of notes and then just sort of rant on that. And then there's a few planned segments that I read these things from this weird history book that I have, and I do this. A friend of mine is a crazy person, I think legitimate crazy person, and he sent me what he thinks is going to be a book. He just started writing a book, I'm assuming while he was very high on cocaine. And it's all handwritten, so I've been going through it every week. I do another segment of it, and I call it Diary of a Madman. And it's just these weird stories of this guy named Thornton. And I think what it is instead of writing a journal, this guy just, takes a bunch of coke and then writes down what happened to him throughout the day or the week or something, and then sort of glorifies himself as like the sort of hero. And then he sent it all to me, so I do a segment where I read all that stuff and I try to piece all his weird. Basically it's like he's a serial killer and he sent me a ransom note, and I'm trying to piece it all together. But somehow it's a weird love story. I don't know. So this is the kind of thing that we do. But it will be coming back, I promise.
Well, we're all here now, so you should let us know. What about today is going on your list of things that annoyed you that you're going to rant about?
So far, nothing. I mean, you guys could annoy the shit out of me at some point before I leave, but no, so far so good. Maybe I'll rant about the weather. I don't know, it is now snowing. It went from raining to snowing, but I guess that's what happens in Vermont.
And since it is snowing, I probably should let you guys go. Get on your way.
Yeah,
So
we drove here in a big old van, so hopefully it'll be able to keep traction on the road.
Well, it's
I'm
not
sure
too
it'll be
windy.
fine. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
So you want anyone, where should they follow you?
My website, which as always is woefully out of date, is nonenaysay.com, NONEMAYSAY.com, and it has the links to my various ill-conceived band names there.
You can find pretty much everything for me at my website, corruptaudio.com. You can find the podcast and all the things that are going on with that and all the other shows that are on the network. Social media links are all there. At Hold the Mail Pod on Instagram and Twitter, at Hold the Mail Podcast on Facebook. That's pretty much it.
You got any plugs, Jake?
Nah,
Your Tumblr?
nah.
And, Owen, when should we start plugging this video? When are you going to be done with the editing?
Well, I got this week off, so
We're getting another verbal commitment from you. You're going to work on it this week.
Well, have
I'm gonna
you
play some Red Dead for
That's
like
all.
a week straight.
So like
You have to at least devote equal time to the video.
Play
It's a video game.
play Red Dead while it's rendering. I'll give you that. Say, I'm curious. Have you edited footage off this camera before? Like,
Yes.
okay, and
Film
it went
some
okay-ish.
YouTube videos. Yeah, but I think I shot in like 720. But
All right.
we'll see. If I get frustrated with the program I don't know how to use, I'll just use iMovie and say good enough.
Or you could make me do it if you had to. But
That also sounded like a verbal commitment.
I'll send it
If you
to
had
all
to.
of you and get 3 different cuts.
And I'm just saying, my birthday is November 13th, so, it'd be a nice present.
That's my mother's birthday.
There you go, then it would be a nice present for her, too.
True.
Yeah, she thinks I'm weird enough.
just add dedicated to my mother at the end of the video. Bigfoot, my friend, dedicated to my mother.
Where can people find you if they want to know more about you?
Nowhere.
Well, what's your YouTube page? Plug it so you get that ad
Owen
money.
Neil, one word. No ad money on there.
But one end or two ends?
2. Owen Neil.
Okay, you could branch them, just saying.
I mean, it's together. If
Yeah.
you do it separately, you're going to see a very large, muscular African American man lifting weights.
Yeah, that always comes up first.
I prefer to see that, actually.
Well, that's on there too. Say it. Tell them Owen Neil sent you.
You should do a video that's got the same thumbnail. Just so someone gets you and they're like, oh, there he is. And then it's...
And then, of course, at Cartoon Curious on Twitter. Even though we don't do Cartoon Curious podcasts anymore. It became a job. And that's pretty much it.
Hey, you're not really on Twitter, are you? You don't have a Facebook page for any of your...
There's a Chickenstein Facebook page, but I only post new episodes on there and that's it. It's just kind of dead. I always like the random, strange spelling names that randomly follow it. They don't say anything, but it's just like 5 people from India like your page. I'm like, well, hopefully they enjoy the podcast.
Yeah.
Or they're just adding everyone going to every page and liking it. I don't know.
Well, the friendly people from India, we thank you.
T-series for life. Nobody on here is YouTubers, so they don't know what I'm talking about.
No.
Yep.
They're about to take over PewDiePie, their highest subscriber channel on YouTube.
Oh boy, that's just like watching the stock ticker, right? Who's up there?
There's a big feud going on.
I'm going to make a reaction video about that.
You probably get a lot of views because it's popular right now.
I'm going to make a reaction video of me reacting to that video also.
That's right. String them there. There you go.
Dropping November 13th.
Happy birthday.